recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zahkia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name's Jonathan, and I am here today with Zahkia Mendoza. Hello, Zahkia.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
I am doing well. I have been trying to start this episode for about 20 minutes now, and I think that we are finally ready. Are you ready? Do you have your energy?
I am so ready. I spent my morning at a 4-year-old birthday party. I have sugared up. We're good.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sugary Zahkia. Here we go. Zahkia, we have some awesome guests. First up, Caitlyn Joyce-Senay is with us. Hello, Caitlyn.
Hello.
Hello. David Abolafia is with us. Hello, David.
Howdy.
Howdy. And Emily Veraa is with us. Hello, Emily.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. We are going to have a lot of fun today. Let's get started by getting to know each of you. Caitlyn, we will start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
So I'm Caitlyn Joyce-Senay. I am from originally New York State, but now I live in just outside of Raleigh with my husband, kid, and lots of animals. So I am an automation engineer for a pharmaceutical company. And fun fact about me, I have about 75 billion hobbies because I have ADHD. And my current one is I just, they're not fully painted yet because they're primed, but I just built from scratch built-ins bookshelves with cabinets and cabinet doors. So I learned how to do that.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. And I have all my fingers.
You're going to have to share a picture of this in the chat for this game when it comes out.
Yeah, I will.
I love that. What was the hardest part of it?
Honestly, it was the math. Because the thing with built-ins is you have to fit them in between like 2 walls. So it has to be very specific.
And
if you're off by a little bit, or let's say your walls aren't square, which I found out they aren't, it gets a little bit, you have to think on your toes.
I believe it. I look at I was showing Sarah the other day, I was like, the line of the ceiling in here kind of goes this and then up a little bit and then down a little bit. It's like, this is very imprecise.
Yeah. The worst part is our house is newly built. It literally is 2 years old. So I'm just upset that my walls aren't square.
Oh my God. All right. Well, Caitlyn, it is great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. David, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi, my name is David Abolafia. I live in Sarasota, Florida. I work in customer service and 4 nights a week as a trivia host. And something fun about me, I'm just kind of put a bow on some things that I talked about previously. And this might not sound fun at first, but it is. I started attempting to be a stand-up comic in July of 2012. And just kind of accidentally fell into it. And then 5 months later, on my birthday, was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so I was in the hospital for 6 days. I had never stayed overnight in a hospital before, had my first chemo treatment and everything like that. But when I got out of the hospital 4 days later, I was on stage at the local comedy club wearing a hospital gown, doing cancer jokes that I had written while I was in the hospital. And
that's a big one right there.
Just signature material.
Yeah. Is there, I'm going to ask a dumb question.
Go ahead.
Is there a Hodgkin's lymphoma?
Yes.
Yes.
All I ever hear is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
You want the
Hodgkin's
non-one.
lymphoma is the worst one.
It is?
Yes.
See, that's good to know.
And it kind of depends on where the stage it's at and everything like that. I was told when my doctor, he never said the word cancer, my regular doctor. He just said that your lymph nodes are chunky, to which I said, well, it matches the rest of my physique.
Yeah, sounds right.
So, but I am now 10 years cancer-free. According to my doctor, I am actually cured, not just in remission, but cured. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Great deal. And David, we are super glad that you're here today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Emily, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Emily Veraa. I am currently in Round Rock, Texas, which is just outside of Austin. This is my 13th year teaching high school. I have been struggling to try and find something fun about myself to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best I got is I have visited 21 of the national parks. I'm trying to hit them all. It's going to take me a moment.
How many are there?
64 or 65, something like that.
65. What's the furthest one away that you've been to?
From where I live, Denali National Park in Alaska.
Is that Alaska?
It is. Mm-hmm. But I'm originally from Alaska, so I grew up camping there. But for our 15th wedding anniversary, I took my husband there.
You have a ghost that just opened the back door behind you. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but that was super creepy.
I also saw something run by, so.
That was my dog named Denali.
Oh, really? He thought you were calling him.
Yes.
Yeah, Denali opened the door.
Was he previously named McKinley?
No, he was not.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, is somebody about to walk in that door? That is the worst possible thing that I can imagine.
Yes, and apparently Denali loves trivia.
Apparently Denali does. Well, we love Denali, so thank you for joining us, Denali. And thank you for joining us, Emily.
Well, we're both happy to be here.
Beautiful. All right, I think it's time to get rolling here. Let's get started with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TW508, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
All right, David.
Well, this was kind of inspired by the fact that my wife was watching a special on the Rodgers and Hammerstein anniversary on PBS. What I have for Warm It Up, Chris, is a list of the 25 greatest movie musicals. This is done by the American Film Institute in 2006. And these movies run from, the oldest is from 1933. The most recent is from 2002. 5 of them did win the Best Picture Oscar, and one of them is animated. So those are the hints that I will provide. And
only one of them's animated?
Only one of them is animated.
I'm shocked. It should be way more than one.
It's just the top 25. So, but we are going to do this going clockwise around my screens. Jonathan, why don't you give me a title and we'll see how this goes.
I was really hoping there was going to be a lot of animated stuff on here. Regular musicals that are not animated is not something that I have a lot of knowledge of. And most of the best musical movies I can think of are more recent than this. So all that being said, I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit and say Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain is number 1 on the list. Woo! From 1952.
It was low-hanging fruit.
Well done. Zahkia.
I have a list of several here, and I'm just going to start off weird and say Gigi.
Gigi actually did win Best Picture in 1958, but it is not on this list.
That's okay. Starting off weird.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I am gonna say I'm gonna steal the 2002 one. It's Chicago.
Chicago, and it won Best Picture that year, and that is the most recent one. Well done. All right, Emily.
Musical movies are not my thing. Musical theater, we could talk.
Any of these started out as musical theater?
Well, true. Okay. Then let's go with, I'm going to try for that animated one. And I'm going to go with one from my childhood that I loved is Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, love the movie. I actually just saw it for the first time recently, but that is not it. I will say that there are no movies from the 1980s, so there will be no Can't Stop the Music and no Xanadu.
Oh, shocking.
We are going back to Jonathan.
I am going to try to see if I can find a Surrey with some fringe on top and guess Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Oklahoma, surprisingly not on this list. Again, great musical. Zahkia.
I thought there was a big Oklahoma movie, wasn't there?
There absolutely were, but there are a lot of others.
Okay.
I am going to go less weird this time and say Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins is number 6 on the list.
Number 2.
1964.
Should be number 1.
Oh.
I mean, I'm partial to
Already.
Rain.
Greatest movie musical of all time.
Caitlin.
All right, I am going to go with a favorite of mine, which is Hello, Dolly.
Hello, Dolly. Not on the list.
What?
Wow. I wonder
Not
what's on
Barbara?
this list.
Who made this?
Not
list
Barbara.
Wrong?
Well, Barbara is on the list, just not for that.
I know the other one, but it's fine.
Emily.
All right, I'm going to channel my cousin's favorite, The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz is number 3 on the list.
All right,
good job. Jonathan.
Did anybody say West Side Story yet?
No one has.
I will say West Side Story.
West Side Story is number 2.
All right.
You're curious to see how they rank the remake, but like you said, this list is from 2006. So, all right, Zahkia.
I'm sticking with that Julie Andrews. I am your mother now, and I don't mean superior. I'm saying The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music is number 4.
Good job.
Good job. All right, we're getting there. We're getting rolling. Caitlin.
Caitlin has a look in her eyes like, what other movies did Julie Andrews make?
I know. Princess Diaries is not a musical. It should have been.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot at. I'm gonna take a shot at the 1933 one that you said. Is it The Jazz Singer?
It is not. The Jazz Singer is actually 1927, I believe.
Oh.
All right, Emily.
I'm going to try that other Barbara one and go Funny Girl.
Funny Girl is number 16 from 1968. All right. Jonathan, we still haven't gotten the animated one.
Yeah.
There's one that I know Jonathan loves. I'm surprised he hasn't said.
Which one?
It's from the 70s.
There's one I love from the 70s. What is this? What are y'all doing? What is this? I don't know what y'all are talking about. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Okay, I don't know if this is what you're trying to say, but I'm going to guess Grease.
Yeah.
Is number 20.
That's what Caitlin was saying. I got that's what led me to that. Yeah. Zahkia was somewhere else.
Okay.
All right, Zahkia.
Wait. Was I right? Did I have it? Did I get any points?
Yes.
Grease was number 20. Yeah.
20. All right.
So, funnily enough, I had Grease queued up for myself. This is what he does when he's singing how he's a wealthy man. Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, I wish y'all could have seen Zahkia. She's literally shaking her boobs. She's got her arms spread out, and she's just going at it.
What boobs? No, it's just like the dude. He does the shoulder shimmy in, and then you just look it up,
If I
and
were
he
a
does
rich
it.
man, la da 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 da
Yeah.
da. But that's not on the list, David?
That's not on the list. The show, the movie is good, but again, these are only the top 25. But it was the very first show I ever appeared in as a Caitlyn.
All right. Okay. Now I'm thrown off because I disagree heavily with this list currently. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go after the animated one. I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast is number 22 on the list, and that is the animated one.
Yeah.
Well, it won an Oscar, so I know that.
Beauty and the Beast is amazing. I'm not taking anything away from that. That means that Aladdin's not on this list, Lion King's not on this list, and I'm sorry.
Too much filler.
Those are fillers, not a bit of filler in Aladdin. Those are by definitely top 25 musical movies, and everybody who didn't say so should be ashamed of themselves.
Hello, Dolly wasn't an answer, Jonathan. This list is garbage.
Emily, and then we'll go one more time around.
I'm going to go with, I had Beauty and the Beast all queued up. So next on my list, Caitlyn's saying she's sorry. I don't think she really is. How about Cabaret?
Cabaret is number 5 from 1972.
Wow.
All right.
All right. Okay. Sorry. I love Cabaret.
All right. So one more time around, and just for the record, you've got the top 6. So the next highest one is 7, but we'll see how this last round goes. Jonathan.
I think there's been multiple movie versions of this. I'm going to guess Les Mis.
Les Mis is not on the list because I think the musical versions of that are more recent.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 2014 or something.
Zahkia.
All right. I've got 3 here that I've written down. And there's one that I think also has been remade a couple times. So hopefully one of the earlier versions has made it onto this. Maybe A Star is Born.
A Star is Born. It with Judy Garland is number 7. Well done.
Because heaven forbid, Babs gets on there more than once.
No. Funny, I think Funny Girl is the only one she's in.
Rude.
Right?
Well,
2 more shots.
We just eliminated all the other amazing people. Why not eliminate her?
Caitlyn?
I have a couple that I am debating on which one I want to go with. There's one I'm pretty sure is on there, and the one that I'm not so sure about. Let's go.
She's tinting her hands together like an evil genius about to reveal her master plot.
Yes. I'm going to go, I want to say Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls is number 23.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And probably the most miscast musical, because what the heck is Marlon Brando doing singing from 1955?
He's there for the eye candy.
All right. And Emily, bring us home.
Well, let's see if the rain in Spain mainly falls in the plains with My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady is number 8. Well done.
Yeah.
Everyone finished strong.
Good job, guys. Way to finish.
So ones that we didn't say, number 9 is An American in Paris. Number 10, Meet Me in St. Louis.
Had that one written
number
down.
11,
I had that one too.
The King and I.
Also, I had that one.
Number
Julie Andrews.
13 is...
She's on the list 3 times. I don't know.
Deborah Carr.
Well, she wasn't actually in the movie version of that. She originated on the
that's a
stage.
shame. All right. My bad. Only twice.
Number
then.
Number 13 is the oldest one. That's the original 42nd Street.
Okay, I was debating on that one too. After you said it wasn't Jazz Singer because I got the year wrong, I was like, maybe 42nd, but...
14 is All That Jazz.
Really?
15 is Top Hat.
Really?
16 you got. 17 is a movie called The Bandwagon. 18, Yankee Doodle Dandy. 19, On the Town. 20 you got. 21 was Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Really? I had that one. I had that one written down.
I had that one, but after Hello Dolly wasn't on there, I said there's no way the musical about kidnapping women and holding them hostage until they develop Stockholm Syndrome and marry all of them is going to be on there. Nope.
That movie has a weird cult following for reasons.
Oh, God, that's uncomfortable.
24 is Showboat. And 25 is the other one from the 2000s, and that is Moulin Rouge.
A jukebox musical.
I mean, if you're going to go Moulin Rouge and you're going to leave out some of the ones that we've already named, I can't speak to the ones in the middle like Bandwagon or whatever. I'm sure they're terrible, but I've seen Moulin Rouge and it doesn't belong above Aladdin or Lion King.
Okay, I think it does. I love it. But I'm telling you right now, the fact that American in Paris is on there and Oklahoma isn't, or Hello Dolly, and American Paris is kind of a meh musical.
Gene Kelly.
Yeah, I know, but he's already on there once. And Barbara's only on there once. This makes no sense.
All right. Well, David, we appreciate your warming up, Chris. We all take umbrage with it. We think it was a terrible list, but we appreciate you finding it.
Thank you so much.
This is clear. It's clear to me that TWA is going to need to come up with their own top 25 musicals list.
I can do
musicals. That. I think that we need some people arguing about this.
Oh, there are numerous warm it up Chris's that we need our own lists for.
Yeah. It's not the first time. All right, guys, this is going to be episode number 508. That means we are on the main feed. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who is listening. We appreciate you guys. If you want more of what we're doing here, be sure to go to trivialwarfarearmy.com and sign up as a sergeant or higher. And if you want the chance to come on the show, you need to be a lieutenant or higher. I hope to see you there. Today's game, it's going to be Emily and Zahkia versus Jonathan and Caitlyn. David is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
For round 1, you're gonna notice a bit of a theme here.
Oh boy.
Round 1, not that kind of theme. Round 1, question 1 is nice animals. And your question is, what is the only mammal whose eyes change color in the winter? They go from golden colored to blue to be able to see at lower light levels, just in time for the holidays.
David, I think that you have submitted this question and I have read it and used it on the show before. I like within the last year. Because I have asked this and given you credit for it.
Because this is something that I actually wrote.
I mean...
We're locked in, okay?
All right, sure. So I'm pretty sure it's a reindeer, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Because it's the holiday clue, which is why I remember asking the question, because I thought it was really clever.
I do.
Am I right about it, David? Because I'd like to use a different one if so.
I don't remember hearing it on because I would have certainly not put it in here if I had.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Jonathan, I don't know if it was actually on the podcast. It might have been when you did the live show at SporkleCon.
I know what's happening. Okay. Okay.
Was that what it was? Was it the live show?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that? Well, then we're fine. We're going to use it because y'all didn't hear that before. Y'all listening out there. So listen up. We're saying reindeer because I've picked this question before and said, this is an awesome question. I'm going to read it. Thank you, David. But it was not to this audience who's listening to the podcast. It was to the 50, 60, 70-ish people we had live in Detroit. Yeah, it's reindeer, Caitlin. I'm very confident.
I remember this, and I got it wrong the first time, too.
What's funny to me is that when I was thinking, I know I've used this question, I said, I think Caitlin was in that episode because I remember seeing her when I had this question.
I was heckling. That was my job.
Yep. So we're locking in reindeer.
Emily and Zahkia, what did you say?
You go ahead. I don't have anything special. They said everything about SporkleCon.
They did. And if you tie in the category with the nice animals, I'm guessing naughty or nice here with that as well. We too went with reindeer.
You both said reindeer, and reindeer is correct. Good job.
No, it's a warm-up. And I would have gotten it wrong again.
Round one, question 2 is in naughty animals. And your question is, while walking the line on his Tennessee farm in 1981, what country legend was attacked and severely injured by an ostrich named Waldo?
Oh.
Yeah, Caitlin, I agree. We should lock in.
Yeah, locked. Oh, sorry.
All right, Jonathan and Caitlin are locked in.
Yep.
The Big EZ. What do you got?
Oh. Big Easy, New Orleans. I don't think this guy has any ties to New Orleans as far as I know, but I think we're in agreement. This is Johnny Cash, the man in black who walks the line through a burning ring of fire.
Yeah, you locked in with
Emily,
that?
do you agree?
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I think
I'll take that as
we're
a
gonna
yes.
lock it. Johnny Cash.
All right, Big EZ said Johnny Cash. So JC and the Sunshine Band. What do you got?
Caitlin?
Sorry, my dogs are barking. Yeah, so walk the line, and yeah, that is a huge clue here. But also, I actually knew this because I thought it was hilarious when I learned this fact that he got attacked by an ostrich. But it's Johnny Cash.
Waldo, get off of me. What are you doing, Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
Tennessee,
He's
apparently.
attacking Johnny Cash. That is your correct answer.
Yay!
And round one, question 3 in strange animals. Under what nickname did Texas-based country musician, author, and politician Richard Friedman, who died in June 2024 and was best known for his song "Get Your Biscuits in the Oven and Your Buns in the Bed," famously write and perform?
I don't mind if they bring their biscuits to the bed, though. All right, we're going to lock that in.
Okay. They are, Jonathan and Caitlin are locked in. So, Zahkia and Emily, what do you got?
Yeah, what do y'all got?
Weirdness, but Emily, would you like to explain Texas politicians to me,
You are
please?
from Texas.
Oh, God. If I understood Texas politicians, trust me, I don't. I'd like to clarify, I am not actually from Texas. I just live here because I followed a boy.
That's the same reason I'm in Florida. The boy was my dad, but still followed.
I was wondering where that was going.
I was wondering, yes. All I can tell you here is that we had a politician named Kinky Friedman. He ran for a lot of things. How kinky is a strange animal, I guess. I can't think of any other politician that had an animal name per se. And last I knew, kinky wasn't an animal that I studied when I earned my animal science degree. Zahkia has suggested a kinkajou, which could piece together. But all I know for certain is that there was a guy who ran for Texas positions, I want to say governor, that was named Kinky Friedman.
You know what? Like, I don't think kinkajous are even native to Texas. I know carcajous are wolverines, and I don't know if they're related, but at least it could be in North America. I'm okay with going with kinky because,
Let's get kinky. Let's go.
Kinky boots. Let's do it.
Let's lock it in.
All right. The Big EZ is getting kinky. And Jonathan and Caitlin, locked in.
We also, actually, Emily at least had some idea. We were reduced to naming animals and possible nicknames because this is not somebody that we could be familiar with. But we did figure that Richard was probably going to be used as Dick. So we went with Dingo Dick Friedman. Best damn politician in Texas.
All right. Well, Richard Friedman, he did run for Texas governor. He published a series of mystery novels, and he performed country music leading a group called the Texas Jew Boys, and his name was Kinky Friedman.
Okay. I don't understand the animal category, David.
It's a kinkajou.
Kinkajou. It's kinkajou. It's the animal.
No, Kinky Friedman was a strange animal.
Oh.
He himself was a strange animal.
Okay,
If you ever heard him interviewed, Yeah, and when Emily and Zahkia were going down that path, I was like, okay, maybe they're taking this too literally.
Well, I mean, we didn't have anything better to go on when you're drowning and somebody throws you a flotation device. It doesn't matter that it's going to melt and sink with you in 20 minutes. You're still going to hold on to it.
I should point out that you were actually on the right track for a second nickname that he went by, because he also went by Big Dick Friedman.
See, that was the obvious joke, and I didn't make it because animals.
Yeah. I at least want more alliteration.
So at the end of round one, Big Easy with 30 and JC and the Sunshine Band with 20. Moving on to round two. Question one, your category is what's in a name? The name of which Disney movie character comes from the Latin word for little she-bear?
Oh, like meow meow, kitten lick, toot toot. We got this, Emily.
Oh yes.
I'm not sure how you make a sound out of the kitten lick, but okay.
Sandpaper on skin.
So
you have all the confidence of
Emily and Zahkia are locked in.
Yes.
So you want a 3, 2, 1? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Ursula.
All right, I was early.
Ursula is correct. The name comes from the Latin ursa, which means bear, and the suffix la. Good job.
I love
Round
that
one.
name, Ursula.
Excuse me,
If I
round
had
two.
a little girl, I would possibly want to name her Ursula, but I don't think Dane would go down with that. But yes, I love that name.
I think it's a good name.
Yeah. Round two, question two, the obligatory Taylor Swift question. When Taylor Swift hosted Saturday Night Live in 2009, she portrayed a number of real people, including Kate Gosselin and what mononymic singer who was born about 2,000 miles due south of Wyomissing, Pennsylvania.
Also, major toots on this one.
Oh, she got all the toots. All right, are y'all locked in?
They sent me a lock emoji.
toots?
They are locked in.
All right, so we can talk.
Yeah.
2,000 miles south of Mississippi has to be South America, though.
Well, it's south of Mississippi. I think it's south of Pennsylvania, which is where she was from, right? Is that what it said?
Wyomissing, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I'm like, she is from
Where she was
Pennsylvania.
Oh, that could be
On a Christmas tree farm. It could
be Florida. That doesn't seem 2,000 miles seems further than Florida, though.
Well, so here's the thing, though, is 2,000 miles does seem South America, and somebody who's blonde and has one name. I was thinking Shakira.
Yeah,
but
that was too.
Was my first thought, but I don't want to just assume that. Also, that seems weird, and I don't remember seeing this episode of Saturday Night Live.
I think that also where somebody's born doesn't necessarily indicate where they were famous too. Like Shakira, obviously South America, that's the first person you think of. Somebody could be born in South America and move.
Yeah. But so let's think of singers with one name. So there's
Madonna,
Shakira. Yeah. There's Selena. There's Beyonce, which is not true.
No.
And I can tell you in 2009, she's not going to do that.
Reba.
Yeah, Reba. No, I think Shakira is my answer there.
All right, let's say Shakira.
All right, they have said Shakira. Emily and Zahkia, you had the toots.
So I remember watching this episode of Saturday Night Live. I remember Taylor Swift doing this impression. And it was like an Easter episode or something. And Taylor Swift was doing an impression of this singer, an impression of her song She Wolf, but singing about Bonnie's Bonnie, Bonnie, making fun of the fact that the singer kind of sounds like a goat when she's singing. Sometimes to certain people, it is Shakira.
And the hips do not lie. It is indeed Shakira. Good job, both teams. Round two, question three. Your category is a matter of time. Time. Hi-ho! Named for a president of the National Research Council rather than a certain green fellow, what is the name of the time unit equal to 1/100th of a day or 14.4 minutes?
Yeah.
We're going to lock in.
All right. Jonathan and Caitlyn are locked in. Emily and Zahkia.
Kermit? Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about the National Research Council, but I know, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here.
And it's not easy being green, so I'm really on board with this. I think we should lock in with Kermit.
Yeah, let's take the rainbow connection to Kermit the Frog, or just Kermit.
They said Kermit. JC and the Sunshine Band. What you got?
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. We went with the answer of Kermit or Kermie.
Well, the name comes from the combination of the surname of Dr. Larkin Kerwin and Meter. Put them together and you get Kermit.
Yay!
Correct answer. After 2 rounds, Emily and Zahkia are still perfect with 60, but Jonathan and Caitlyn are right behind with 50. Round 3. Question 1 in this or that. As a verb, it means to cut a zigzag or decorative pattern around fruit or vegetables. As a noun, it's a style of facial hair named for a painter who was Flemish, not Ottoman.
All right, we'll go ahead and lock in.
Jonathan and Caitlyn are locked in. Emily and Zahkia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out some things, trying to figure out Flemish painters that we know with 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence here. I want to say 70%. Best I got is a guy that I think I remember the name is Van Dyke, but I am not 100% on this at all. And I have no idea what that has to do with fruit.
I can recognize what the pattern he's talking about. I've seen that cut into fruit before.
Yes.
And there is a Van Eyck, but there's Van Dyke, which is like a common Dutch last name, and that's around like the Flemish part of the world. But there's also Van Eyck, who is a painter that I know for sure is a painter, but I'm not sure if he's Flemish. Something about Van Dyke seems like it could be a type of facial hair. I don't think I've heard of a Van Eyck facial hair. And I don't know what this Ottoman thing, I'm not sure if he means Turks or like furniture. Van Dyke Brown is absolutely a thing.
I missed the facial hair part of this. I was thinking that would be like a zigzag part down the middle of the hair. Not
that's
the
time.
face.
So I need an answer.
I'm going to go Van Dyke.
Sure.
I like the vibes on it. Let's go Van Dyke.
They said Van Dyke. Jonathan and Caitlyn.
We were stuck in a similar place. We couldn't figure out the Ottoman clue either, but Flemish is essentially Dutch. We know that a Van Dyke is a Dutch person with a facial hair name, so that was the best we came up with. We said Van Dyke.
Well, what we generally think of as a goatee with the mustache and the chin beard is referred to as a Van Dyke.
Hey!
And the
he hadn't said it's right
Ottoman
yet.
connection, that was that is correct. And the Ottoman reference was a shout out to Dick Van Dyke tripping over.
Tripping over. Okay.
I
wasn't sure exactly what you were doing there, but I was like, Ottoman.
Yeah, like the Empire, like
yeah, I know. I was like, what do we mean? Do we mean the furniture? Well, furniture can be brown.
Ryan Van Dyke Brown.
You know, it's a favorite of Bob Ross when he's painting.
Question 2 of round 3. Your category is a pirate necessarily a bad guy?
Yes.
What Grammy and Oscar-winning singer-songwriter has 3 middle names? Pirate being one of them.
Oh, full confidenciosos on this one too.
Cool. Let's lock that in.
We're locked in.
Oh, okay. The Big Easy is locked in. Jonathan Caitlyn.
Yeah, so Grammy and Oscar winner, that means that it's going to be somebody who's in both worlds.
Yes, but Oscars can also be the songs too. You have to remember, like, Oscar is not necessarily acting. So it has to be someone weird and doesn't have a year or anything. Winning singer-songwriter. So I'm thinking Frank Zappa is probably not the answer.
I don't think it's Frank Zappa.
Lady Gaga has won both, but I don't think her middle name is Pirate because she comes from a traditional Italian family.
What if it's Lin-Manuel Miranda? He's won a Grammy by now. He's an EGOT winner.
Yeah, and a Grammy would also count for the
Grammy,
the soundtrack for his. Yeah.
But Manuel is one middle name. Maybe he has two more. Maybe it's Lin-Manuel Pirate.
Maybe.
Constance Miranda. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. There's a giant hawk that's sitting on our fence right now. Sorry.
What's his middle name? Beep. Grammy and Oscar winning singer-songwriter. Singer-songwriter is a very specific kind of phrasing.
Yeah, so that wouldn't be a person in the Broadway world, I wouldn't think. So singer-songwriter. So Adele has won an Oscar and a bunch of Grammys, and she's a singer-songwriter. There's Billie Eilish, who I believe just won an Oscar for the Barbie movie song that she sang.
She seems like she could have a pirate middle name.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What was the category, David?
Is a pirate necessarily a bad guy?
Bad guy.
Oh, bad guy. It's Billie Eilish.
There it is. It is Billie Eilish. There's the clue. I was like, I don't see a clue in the question. That's got to be, what's the category? That's it. Love it. We're going to say Billie Eilish.
They said Billie Eilish. And we have a dang it in the other chat. Go ahead, Emily and Zahkia.
This is one of those things I just know. Okay. So think the power of 3 and Charmed and my obsession for why I know this. Okay. So on the TV series Charmed, there were costume designers' name was Eilish. And when Billie Eilish became a thing, I wanted to look her up to see if she was related to Eilish, the costume designer, because that's not a very common name. And I heard that her parents worked in Hollywood. And that's how I learned her name is Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell.
Wow.
Billie Eilish is the correct answer.
And Zahkia took what flavor text I had, giving her full name. She had all 5 of them. Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell.
Wow.
Whole team's got a good job.
So growing up in school, her name was Billie O'Connell?
Yeah, her brother is Phineas.
Phineas,
O'Connell,
who is her producer.
Wow.
And he's actually great. A co-songwriter, and he's great too. I love his albums as well. But
yeah, they're both great. Great Sids.
So great.
And she swept the Grammys a few years ago with her first album, and she's actually won 2 Oscars, one for the What Was I Made For from Barbie, and then one for No Time to Die.
Yeah, it was got to be a
James Bond movie.
And you know what? The only reason that led me to there, because I was like, I said Adele because she won for James Bond. I'm like, wait, Billie Eilish also did a James Bond song.
Yeah.
Wait, she also just recently won for a Barbie movie. And I know that one for a fact. That's how my brain went.
That's perfect.
Finally, round 3, question 3. And your category is Name Change NASA Edition. Which one of NASA's space shuttles was originally set to be called the Constitution? Yet the name was changed in response to a letter writing campaign from, per the White House, one of the most dedicated constituencies in the country.
Want to go with it? We're locked in.
Jonathan and Caitlyn are locked in. Big Easy.
I have no idea.
Same. I'm trying to moonwalk into this from one of the most dedicated constituencies in the country. Is it named after the constituency?
I'm trying to think of space shuttle names.
I'm so bad with this. I know there's Discovery and Columbia and Gemini and Mercury and I don't know if there was a Mercury. That's a planet.
Columbia. Columbia is the country.
Leave my partner alone. Let her say what she wants.
Well, if Shakira wanted to go on the space shuttle, they would have named it Columbia.
Space shuttle Columbia.
These ships don't fly. So names that I know.
Here's your episode title.
There's Columbia. There's an Enterprise. There was Challenger.
What are the ones that land?
Oh, wait. Let's go back here a second to Enterprise. Because you know who's a dedicated constituencies? Trekkies.
Yeah.
I could see them losing their minds over a spaceship named the Enterprise.
Yes. I like this. I like it too.
There. Yes.
Let's boldly go where men have gone before.
Let's lock that in.
Lock it in, Enterprise.
They have locked in Enterprise. JC and the Sunshine Band. What do you got?
Well, they got there. I didn't think there was much of a chance of them not getting there, but I was hopeful when they both acted like they couldn't name space shuttles before naming a whole bunch of space shuttles. Then it's like, as soon as you say the right one. Yeah, I just started naming space shuttles. I hit Enterprise. I'm like, well, there's the right answer. Don't need to go any further than that.
I was going to make a joke about it. Like, oh, yeah, it's probably a Star Trek joke. And then I was like, oh, it's right.
That's right. That's what happened. Yes. Yeah, we're saying Enterprise.
Both said Enterprise. I went to a tech school, so I dealt with a lot of these people on a regular basis. They were Star Trek fans, and they wanted a space shuttle called Enterprise. Both teams
and I'm glad
are
they
correct.
got it. I mean, it's cool. It's freaking cool.
I can do it both.
We're cool.
Unfortunately, the instructions were in Klingon, but at the end of round 3, JC and the Sunshine Band have a great score of 80, but the Big EZ, they are perfect still with 90.
They must be cheating somehow.
Going into your mid.
Come on. Y'all are cheating. How are y'all cheating?
We're just cursed. It's okay. We just got the perfect game curse. Yeah.
I've done it twice already. It still hasn't worked.
Half.
Your category for the midpoint is rock and roll are 4-letter words. As of 2024, there are exactly 5 groups in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame whose names are 4 letters long. For 4 points each, name them. But the rules are the groups only, and using the full names they were inducted under, and no the groups like the Cars, and punctuation is permitted.
Jonathan, I swear to God, I can count.
Yeah, just prove it. Prove it.
You said punctuation doesn't count towards, it's not characters,
it's
letters,
acceptable.
right? As a character or as a letter?
That's an
if
important
it has punctuation in it, don't count that.
Okay.
No, I mean, don't count it in your count of characters.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I have a minute left. Just be aware I am asking for 5. 30 seconds.
Yeah. I like that, Emily.
Okay.
All right, that's time.
Our answer is in, David, if you see it.
Yes, I do.
So we're saying Rush. We're saying Styx. We're saying ABBA. We're saying AC/DC. And then it's either Bush or Hole.
I would say either In Excess or Hole, but maybe let's go with Hole.
All right, sure.
We killed Zahkia because of phrasing.
Yeah, Bush and Hole. Yeah.
Yeah, Bush in the hole.
Yeah. No, it's not in the hole. They're the same thing.
I know.
So, Zahkia and Emily, what did you say?
So, we talked about Bush. We did not talk about Hole, but we didn't go with either. Oh my God. I need a full-on recovery. We agreed on Rush, AC/DC, and ABBA. We weren't super sure.
Oh my God. Emily's crying.
I mean, you guys are so casual about it. Like, it was a thing. We went with another weird 80s pick with Wham. Emily, at the very last minute, came in with one. I think that is absolutely a goodie. Would you like to share it, Emily?
I came in with Kiss at the end because I figured if anyone should be in there, it should be them.
I like that. I would take Styx and Kiss if I had chosen from what Phil said.
Which ones did we actually say?
We said Styx and Hole.
Well, we had 5 of them, though, right?
We agreed on 3
and
of those.
ABBA and AC/DC. And
yeah, okay.
And so, yes, there were 3 that both teams agreed on, ABBA, AC/DC, and Rush, and they are all correct. 4th one, Emily and Zahkia did pick up on was Kiss.
Yeah.
They actually just got in a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the fifth one, which nobody said, apparently nobody wanted to get it on and bang a gong. That is T-Rex.
Really? Oh, that's
really
like.
So Styx is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That seems weird.
They are not.
That's messed up. Styx had a lot of hits.
T-Rex,
yeah, but
really?
the critics hated them pretty much for their entire career. So
who cares? They're way better than T-Rex.
I like. Well, T-Rex wasn't around. The guy died not like long after they started, right? I don't know. Mark Bolan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Bang a Gong's it's a jam, so I get it, but like, okay.
Yeah, but that's the only one you can name.
Chrome Sitar, I think, is by them, but I'm also very weird and spend a lot of time.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, exactly.
Babe.
That song is probably the single most
Sail Away?
The single biggest reason why they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Come
Fame.
Sail Away, Sweet Madam Blue. They have a catalog.
Discography.
They were
Jonathan had a Styx album.
I had a Styx Greatest Hits album, and every one of them was a banger.
Yeah.
Whoever made that
I think for Styx is that they haven't been nominated, so they can't get in, as opposed to another four-letter group, Chic, which has been nominated 11 times and never gotten in.
Chic absolutely deserves it. So Jonathan, this is your call to action. Nominate Styx.
How do I
campaign?
Jenny Thomas, how do I nominate somebody for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Ask the Trekkies. That's a shuttle.
Especially because Styx did a whole album recently about a mission to Mars. What was that?
I said we'll get the K-pop stands on it too. They'll get whatever they want.
I love it.
After the halftime question, Jonathan and Caitlyn have 92. Emily and Zahkia have 106.
All right, that is the end of the first half. Before we go on to the second half, I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It is the season to get cozy. Things are cold all around us. And, there's nothing better than sitting in front of a fire with a sweater on or maybe a robe wrapped up with your favorite animal. God, it's nice, right? A little mug of hot cocoa or coffee, if you will. You know what else is really cozy, though? Being comfortable with yourself. Feeling good about yourself. Knowing that you're doing things the way you want to do them and that you're living the life that you want. That's something that I think would be cozy for all of us. And one of the best ways to accomplish that is therapy. I am 100% honest here, guys. I believe that I am a cozier person, a happier person, a more confident person because of the therapy that I've had with BetterHelp. So I want to remind you that BetterHelp can make a difference for you. They can be a difference maker during these winter months when the days are short, the nights are long, everything's colder and just not quite as vibrant. Somebody to talk to is a godsend. You can try it right now. You can go to betterhelp.com/TWA and you'll get 10% off your first month. But more than that, you'll get some peace of mind. You'll start to engage and you'll start to work with somebody to bring your own comfort and start to engage with somebody that can help you become comfortable and cozy wherever you are. That's right. You go to BetterHelp, HELP.com/TWA. Maybe this is the time to do it. Maybe this is the season. I hope you'll give it a try. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
Round 4, as has been customary in games that I host, is the Rob Warman round.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
Warman.
By prolific trivia writer Rob Warman. Round 4, question 1 in food and drink. Name the 2017 cookbook that inspired a 2018 documentary series with the same title. The author explains the foreword title as The Cardinal Directions of Cooking the defining factors which determine the flavor and texture of food.
Okay.
Are you locked in?
Yes. Lock emoji.
Okay, this is good because we're not entirely sure on the order.
So we feel like the words are salt, heat, fat, and acid.
Yes. And I just have to remember what the order is. It's salt and fat are definitely like together.
And acid is last?
I don't know anymore.
Because if acid's last, it's salt, fat, heat, acid.
That doesn't sound right.
No?
No. Salt, fat, acid, heat sounds more right to me.
That doesn't sound
Because
right.
heat is not first. I'm pretty sure salt is first. And salt and fat are next to each
acid,
other.
Heat, fat, salt, fat,
No,
heat,
that's
acid?
No.
You don't like salt, fat, heat, acid?
No, I don't. It doesn't sound right out loud. Salt, fat, acid, heat does.
Salt, fat, acid, heat? I could have sworn heat was in the middle.
I don't know, but I think that's it. Because, yeah, that sounds more right out loud to me.
Okay, I'll go with your gut.
Okay. Salt, fat, acid, heat.
And the big easy. You locked in?
I love Caitlyn's faces. It's just like
very expressive, isn't
she? I mean, expressive sister. I feel it. I would say similar answer, similar thought process, except for I wasn't sure if salt was right, but we ended up going with salt, fat, acid, heat.
Oh, God.
The notes that Rob gave me say that it is an excellent book on the science of cooking. The very memorable introduction explains how pizza and peanut butter and jelly are gastronomically the same food. But your correct answer is salt, fat, acid, heat.
Oh, God.
So I was pretty sure about acid heat being that was correct, and I just wasn't sure if salt was the word. So when you guys going back and forth, I'm like, it's acid heat. I know it's acid heat.
And those were the two. I wasn't sure which order it was. Like, okay. Oof.
Round 4, question 2 of the Rob Warman round. Your category is Rollover Beethoven. What breed of dog is the central character of Stephen King's Cujo?
Hey, Jonathan.
Yo.
I have meow meows.
Meow meow. Yeah, we're locked in.
I have all the
toots,
and the meow meows, everything to go with it too.
Wow.
No, they have gas X for the toots.
So do you want to 3, 2, 1 this?
Sure.
I think so.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
Saint Bernard is correct. I was originally going to call this category Now That You Menthon It, Menthon, because Saint Bernard is named for Saint Bernard of Menthon.
But you should be ashamed of yourself for that. That's terrible.
Round 4, question 3. I don't feel shame. That's the problem. Round 4, question 3 is Taste the Soup. The diamondback terrapin is a species of turtle native to the eastern United States, a species that was nearly hunted to extinction due to its popularity in turtle soup. What historical event is credited with inadvertently saving these turtles in the early 20th century?
Oh, yeah, no, I had the wrong century.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Okay, I guess we'll lock in.
We were trying to figure out a lot of ideas here for it. Initially, I thought we were going for like a University of Maryland mascot with the clue, and I was really going to appreciate that. But then that's a little too easy for Rob to throw at us. So trying to figure out what would make turtles special or savable with this. And I think we had a comment about Master Splinter and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the turtle tunnels.
Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So one would like to think maybe pizza with that. But the only thing I could think of in the early 20th century as like an event, kind of was wondering about prohibition. Like, were booze part of the ingredients to the soup? Like, did something stop becoming available to help make it? And I don't know what booze went into turtle soup, because thank God I've never had any. But we're going to go with our best guess here, I hope, is prohibition.
All right, Team EZ, the Big EZ said Prohibition, Jonathan and Caitlyn.
I hope that's
So
not
now
it.
that logic has made. I know, because I'm just thinking. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Sherry.
I didn't think that logic. I wasn't. We never said that. I would have gone with it. If
No,
you'd have said
I know.
that.
Well, I know. I did mention Prohibition, but I didn't know why. My
You didn't
assumption
say it
was I was
had
gonna make
alcohol in it.
I didn't think of it that way. I thought less drunk people would mean less turtles needed to die. I don't know. Somehow.
And I thought if all the men were at war, then maybe they wouldn't be out hunting turtles.
Or when I said the Spanish flu, it's because people started eating chicken noodles.
Oh God, is that why you thought that? I thought you meant people had died out to where they couldn't.
Also that. Yeah, well, that was the original thought, but then I was like, but they also eat different soup. But no,
we said World War I because we're dumb.
Well, according to Rob's flavor text, a major ingredient in turtle soup is brandy and lots of it. Prohibition prevented chefs from legally making the soup for 13 years, and it never regained popularity after that. Prohibition is your correct answer.
We are back in Emily's world.
We had it.
We did. However, my logic was not because there was alcohol in it. My logic was I thought drunk people eat turtles.
At the end of the Rob Warman round, JC and Sunshine Band with 112, the Big EZ with 136. Putting up a bit of a lead. Round 5. Question 1 is in the category of the horror. The horror. The chainsaw was in the horror. HORROR.
I know.
Okay. The chainsaw was invented in 1780 by two Scottish doctors, not for cutting down trees, but for assisting with what medical process through a procedure called a symphysiotomy.
Yeah, no, I'm locked in. Jonathan, I have meow meows.
Show me what you're saying first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can't lock in without telling me. I'll give you meow meows though.
Yeah.
I was right there. Okay, we can lock in.
Well, we're not locked in, so it's okay.
We are not.
Well, they have meow meows, and they are locked in. So go ahead and talk it out.
Okay, so I first threw out amputation, but then I actually read the word that is in the chat, and it's not. And I think I remember hearing this fact, and it's absolutely horrific.
I think I know what it is.
It's childbirth.
Yeah, labor. Yeah, I think it's for labor. Yes.
Yeah, modern medicine. I just gotta love it. Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with childbirth, labor. Yeah. Ouch!
Oh my God.
Which is not the same as child labor, surprisingly.
Emily and Zahkia said childbirth. Jonathan and Caitlyn, you had meow meows.
Yep. So I learned this fact on TikTok, which is a wealth of knowledge. And I learned it was for C-section. So childbirth, I guess, is the same category. So we want to go more general. We can say that too. But yeah, I think specifically it was for C-sections.
Well, the doctors created the hand-cranked chainsaw to widen the pubic cartilage and cut through the pelvises of mothers who were having trouble giving birth. And this procedure was often performed without anesthesia.
Yeah.
Correct answer is childbirth.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez,
Both
Louise.
teams.
Oh,
Hence the category title.
Yep.
It's like I knew it, but somehow
It's
you
still-
reading it and describing it made it worse.
You should look up what the original one looked like, the hand crank thing, if you want to just have the full visual, because not only did I see this fact on TikTok, they showed us the antique.
It's like, I mean, do you? Okay,
It's like what, Jonathan?
I'm trying to put my.
Have you
head
heard
around
of the
it, right?
pair of anguish?
So no, yes. So where my brain is at, I'm thinking if we're back then during that time, and you're a pregnant woman, okay, and you're in the process of giving birth, but they don't come out. They won't come out. Would you rather deal with that or just have them kill you?
I would like to do what they did in Macbeth. They slice it and rip it. I don't want to crank anything.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know why they didn't go in through the top, but
Less fun.
yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
Mm-hmm. And for round
job,
5,
David.
question 2.
horror
Continuing on
indeed.
the horror theme, it is David Rasputin's A Hit. As I've said, I do more than destroy. I shoot, drown, and throw it out a window. So name this 2007 number 4 hit from these lyrics. Head underwater, and they tell me to breathe easy for a while. The breathing gets harder, even I know that. Made room for me, it's too soon to see if I'm happy in your hands. And I will paste that in the chat and read it normally. The lyrics are...
I'm with you, Caitlin. We can lock in.
Okay, they're locked in. Head underwater, and they tell me to breathe easy for a while. The breathing gets harder, even I know that. Made room for me, it's too soon to see if I'm happy in your hands.
So they've tooted, so we can like sing it, right?
I've been
Yes, you
tooting
can
this
discuss.
whole game.
You can sing it. I can't sing.
I think you and I are on the same page. Like, head underwater, and they tell me to breathe easy for a while. Breathing gets harder. Yeah, that da 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 na 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 na. I'm not gonna write you a love song 'cause you asked for it 'cause you need one. You see, yeah, I think that is Love Song by Sarah Bareilles.
Yes, okay. I would agree. I'm glad you're the one who sang it because I can't sing. You don't find me at karaoke.
Secret.
I can't sing either, but you do find me at karaoke. So
yeah, karaoke is 100% energy. Like I've seen the worst singers just slay like songs that are terrible. But yes, so I think we're in agreement, and that's good because I am not a song lyrics recognizer. Block emoji. Love Song.
Love Song by Sarah Bareilles. Jonathan and Caitlin, you had 2 toots.
So I used to take singing lessons back in the day because I was a theater kid. And this was one of the songs I actually performed at a recital. So as soon as you said head underwater, I'm like, I know what this is. So we also said Love Song by Sarah Bareilles. There we go.
This is her highest charting single to date, and the answer is Love Song by Sarah Bareilles. Good job.
I remember discovering this song via an Apple iPod commercial back in the day. That is where I first heard this song, and I went and looked it up and really, really liked it and have loved her stuff ever since.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Round 5, question 3. Your category is memory.
Memory.
Mnemonic.
I'm glad you also thought the same thing. I'm like, memory.
It's been such a musical episode, really.
The mnemonic "Big gorillas eat hamburgers, not cold pizza" is used to remember the names and positions of the 7 what?
We're locked in.
I liked Muses, Caitlin, but that's positions is not going to be there. So this seems like something geographical.
It does, but I don't think it's
or in order from largest to smallest or first to last.
My only thing with seas though is you don't see the Red Sea, you don't see Mediterranean.
No, I'm not saying it's seas. I'm just saying the groups of 7. What about like the Great Wall of China and the Hanging Gardens of Babylon and the Temple to Zeus? No, it's not that. There's no Z.
Yeah, because then you also don't have the Colossus.
Yeah.
And what would
Temple to Zeus is not here though. There's no A's either. Temple to Athena.
Yeah.
PGEHNCP.
And it's not going to be. It's not going to be musical.
Deadly sins, gluttony, envy, pride. I don't know. We're running out of time.
Wrath isn't there. No, Wrath isn't there. Moon's
30
the
seconds.
Neptune, or what one has
No,
like?
all of those have 10 plus moons. It's nothing has 7 moons.
Okay, I don't know.
Dwarves?
I
7
don't know.
dwarves? Sleepy dopey
No.
doc? No.
That is time. I need an answer.
I don't know.
Deadly Sins is the closest we got.
I'm gonna say muses.
Sure, okay. Muses.
That's wrong anyway.
They said muses. Big Easy, you locked in pretty quickly.
Yeah. My butt is unclenched because I was really afraid you guys were going to get it.
Their chat, they keep saying, David has to call time.
She's over there getting a physical workout while we're guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kegel City over here.
I have learned today that if I ever have to be in a serious situation, I can't sit next to Zahkia.
No! Never. I live on laughter. And I have encountered this question recently, I think, but I knew it then and I know and I know it now. So Big Belize, Gorillas, Guatemala,
Central America,
Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Cold, Costa Rica, pizza, Panama. I believe this is the countries of Central America.
They are indeed the countries of Central America, running from north to south.
That's real good. That's real good.
Yep.
And those who know me from my in-person trivia games know I often will throw in things related to Guatemala because that is where we adopted our son from.
Oh, that's nice.
And so at the end of round 5, Jonathan and Caitlyn have 132, but Emily and Zahkia have 166. They are just one midpoint away from.
What are y'all doing over there?
It's Emily's world.
And
Just telling
here we go.
Jokes on the chat.
And tying back to that last question, your first question in round 6 was inspired by my son, Matthew. So he gets half credit for this one. The category is an excellent idea. Let's change the subject. British artist Nick Kingsley releases electronic music under the name Tut Tut Child. The name is taken from a line spoken by the Duchess in what literary classic published 117 years before Kingsley's birth?
Category again?
An excellent idea. Let's change the subject. Just as a clarifying, I was asked Duchess as in royalty, not a babysitter. We have 1 minute remaining.
All right, we're going to lock in.
And so where we're at, we talked about the old lady from Great Expectations who has a bunch of money, and Pip goes to visit her and takes care of her. And her name is Miss Havisham, but she has money and stuff. My only concern with it is that was written 1840, and 117 years after that, I don't know if Tut Tut Child would be younger than that, but I really have nothing else. So you can just go Great Expectations.
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of anything else either.
Yep. So let's go Great Expectations.
All right. They said Great Expectations. Jonathan and Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, this is your answer, and I love it.
Yeah, I guess so. So I was trying to think of time frame, and Jonathan said, let's assume they're 30 or under-ish. If they're a child, then we might be off by a little bit. But the only thing I could think of, was with royalty and stuff in it, was Alice in Wonderland, but I couldn't remember if it was, and Jonathan mentioned he was it might be the lady in the real world telling her to pay attention to her lessons and stuff.
She's
and I couldn't remember.
Studying.
Oh, wait, no, the cat's name is Duchess. So,
sure, but the Duchess is
the cat doesn't speak. No, wait, Duchess was the cat from Aristocats. The cat was Dinah. Never mind.
We said
Different
Alice
cat.
in Wonderland.
But we did say Alice in Wonderland.
Also, I feel like the category is a quote that could be from the same book, is what my guess is for the category.
Probably. Yeah.
And the quote is indeed from the same book. And that book is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Great job.
There is a Duchess in Alice in Wonderland, right?
She was like the person who was telling her to study, right?
Is it? I thought, no, I'm thinking the Red Queen. Never mind.
Yeah, I said Queen too, but I think there's, something. I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure the great idea, let's change the subject, comes from the Mad Tea Party.
That's a great idea. Let's change the subject.
Round 6, question 2 is before and after.
Channel the spirit of Aaron.
And your question is professional casual description of Marty McFly's mullet. And yes, this is a perfect before and after.
Before and after.
In that respect.
Oh.
Okay. There we go.
Holy crap.
I couldn't piece those things together. Thank you for being on top of that.
No problem. We're good. We're locked in.
Caitlin, I can't imagine it could possibly be something else after hearing your answer. But holy crap, I'm used to like being 2 words pushed together. This is like third level out.
So a mullet, business in the front, party in the back, and Back to the Future. So business in the front, party in the Back to the Future is what I decided on.
Tremendous.
And Emily and Zahkia, what'd you say?
I mean, Zahkia took us down that exact same path. Thank goodness.
Business in the front, party in the Back to the Future.
This is one of those rare questions where the answer is longer than the question. But your correct answer is business in the front, party in the Back to the Future.
Well
Good
done.
job, everyone.
I love before and afters.
I'm bad at them. I like them, but I'm not very good at them.
This one was interesting because it was amorphous. It's not a clear beginning and a clear end because the mullet you have to use the mullet at the end of the question to take you to the front of the answer. Yeah. This was written in a unique way.
Take you to the business in the front.
Yeah.
Round 6, question 3, the final question of regulation in sports.
Question.
Sports. Your question is, since 2001, what Olympic event has involved an apparatus officially known as a table, though gymnasts have nicknamed it the tongue?
Oh, I didn't read that word.
Let's lock it in.
Yeah.
So, Emily, I was with you originally, like you're thinking vault, but I can't think of anything that's really changed with the vault. I did watch something recently about changes in gymnastics and how they've become more athletic over time. So one thing I have noticed is with beam that they used to just like push on to the beam and start doing their stuff. And more recently, they've been like flipping onto the beam rather than just hopping up. So it's possible that the thing that they're using to like hop up onto the beam is called a table or a tongue, but I really don't know for sure.
But when I think of the vault, the ones I've seen recently, even though I think the vault's been around for a while, like I think it kind of like it curves down, almost like kind of looking like if I were to say a piece of equipment looked like a tongue.
Right. I would agree with that. Like
maybe that part that like curves down at them when they're running to it. I think
less than a minute
turns down. I think maybe the addition of that. I don't know, but if I were to say something looked like a tongue, I would say the vault looked like a tongue.
And that was my knee jerk. So maybe
go with that.
Maybe yeah.
Okay, let's lock in with the tongue
or the vault.
Oh yes,
they are locking in with the tongue. And that's a French kiss I don't want. They said vault. Jonathan and Caitlyn.
I mean, I immediately also said vault, and that wasn't because of the shape of the vault itself, although I do think that has been modified in the recent years, but it's the little springboard thing that they go off of, that they run towards and then bounce on. That was what I was thinking was the tongue. But either way, I think the vault is the answer here.
So both teams said vault. In 2001, they changed the apparatus. It used to be more like a pommel horse, just without the handles, and it is now officially called a table. And that is what they spring off of in the vault.
Great.
Both teams
right.
got it right.
So they put their hands all over the tongue.
Briefly.
Yeah, they propel themselves off of the tongue.
Gross.
So at the end of regulation, Jonathan and Caitlyn have a extremely respectable 162. But Emily and Zahkia have the lead with 186.
They haven't been doing much missing of anything.
Yeah.
And your category for your gauntlet is Got Milk.
Okay, we'll go ahead and lock in our wager.
Let's do it.
Our wager is locked in.
There you go.
Alrighty.
Said the magic words.
And so your first question in the gauntlet category of Got Milk. Comedian and writer Emily Feimster, known for her work on Chelsea Lately, FUBAR, and The Mindy Project, found fame and success under what first name, which is actually her middle name?
Our answer is locked in.
All right.
So we're going to say the magic words that our answer is locked in.
Yes.
Question 2 in your gauntlet of Got Milk. What four-letter slang word, which dates from the 1890s, can also mean face or mouth, and likely comes from an Irish word meaning mouth or lips? Just ask Antonio Banderas.
I think our answer is locked in again.
Let's go for it. Let's lock in.
Our answer is locked in.
Locked in. Question 3 of your Got Milk gauntlet. Though not a pitcher himself, former Major League Baseball player Lenny Dykstra named his older son, now married to actress Jamie Lynn Sigler, this, perhaps inspired by Mariano Rivera or maybe some bug spray.
There's not a question in here I can find. Though not a pitcher himself, former MLB player named his older son, perhaps inspired by Mariano Rivera, perhaps some bug spray.
No, but he named his son this. What did he name his son?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, we are locked in. Sorry, that's what you meant.
All right.
You're just reading. It's good.
All right. So, Caitlin, the beginning of the question is important. Though not a pitcher himself. So when he says inspired by Mariano Rivera, it's probably Cutter? Cutter? I bet it's Cutter. Mariano Rivera.
Oh, that's a bug spray.
Is it? Okay, because Mariano Rivera's
so.
best pitch is the cut fastball. It's called a cutter.
Okay, that's more than I know. I'm just going off of bug spray facts, which is why I said DEET.
Yes. So cutter is a bug spray?
I'm pretty sure. That looks familiar. I feel like it's on there.
Okay, then it's definitely a pitch. And it makes more sense
it's not
because I'm like, well, why does it say not a pitcher himself? And I'm like, hurler, lefty, what about pitches? Curveball, fastball, two-seam fastball. Cutter? Cutter is a name.
I think cutter is bug spray as well, so I'm good.
We're going to do it. All right, our answer's locked in.
Everybody's locked in, so we're going to go
needed to say that out loud because
none
of that was in our conversation.
No, none of that.
We weren't there.
Yeah, we're going. I'm like deep woods, like deep. Citronella.
Question 1: comedian and writer Emily Feimster, known for her work on Chelsea Lately, FUBAR, and The Mindy Project, found fame and success under what first name? Emily and Zahkia.
We said Fortune.
Said Fortune, and Jonathan and Caitlyn.
Well, we also said Fortune.
We did say Fortune.
Okay. Question 2. What four-letter slang word, which dates from the 1890s, can mean face or mouth? Jonathan and Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, you came up with it.
Yeah. So Antonio Banderas was a nice clue because it sure as hell ain't Zorro. It's Puss in Boots. It's Puss.
And Emily and Zahkia?
I needed Antonio Banderas as well, because I went straight for the Puss in Boots too, and thankfully Zahkia has heard this used as Puss before, which today I learned a new thing, so we went with Puss.
Can I share with you guys that we were outside? Sarah had a lot of girlfriends over for like a day, right? And I went out there towards the end of the day, and everybody's laughing and having a good time. And they were talking about cats and this and that and the other, and the usage of pussy for cat came up, right? And then they started doing like a naming game thing where they were taking names and merging them together. And one of the ladies' name is Megan. And as they merged the names, they came up with Megapuss and realized, nope, that nickname doesn't work for her.
Nope.
It's just a girl with a big face.
Megapuss.
A Megapuss.
It was as soon as they did like two people, and then they went to her, and then everybody realized at the same time and started laughing. It was very funny.
And question 3 in the gauntlet, though not a pitcher himself, former MLB player Lenny Dykstra named his older son this, perhaps inspired by Mariano Rivera. Emily and Zahkia.
I know nothing about sports ball really much, but I do know bug spray from going camping. So I just started listing bug spray brands. And I first came up with Off, and we thought that was not a great name. We also shot down Deet as well. And I knew Cutter is a bug spray brand, and we thought that sounded less bad of a name than Deet or Off. So we went with Cutter and hoped that it sounded sporty.
So they said Cutter, and Jonathan and Caitlyn.
We also cycled through Off and Deet. And then I got really convinced that I'm missing something. And I went back and I was like, though not a pitcher himself, what kind of things would a pitcher name their kid? And I started like immediately, like as soon as we got to talk as opposed to type, I said that and then went through a bunch of pitches in my head. And immediately I was like, wait, Mariano Rivera throws a cut fastball. It's called a cutter. And Caitlyn's like, that's a bug spray too. It's like, aha. So we said Cutter.
So everyone was in agreement on all 3 questions. And going back, comedian and writer Emily Feemster, her full name is Emily Fortune Feemster. And so Fortune is her stage name. 4-letter slang word is for a face or a mouth, and played by Antonio Banderas in a series of movies. That is puss. And though not a pitcher himself, former Major League Baseball player Lenny Dykstra named his older son Cutter.
All right.
So both teams got all 3 answers.
Good gauntlet,
And
everybody.
Jonathan and Caitlyn, you were on the theme. I mean, you did. I did see you mention the theme in the chat.
The milk.
These are all
It's fortune cookie cutter, and then cats like milk. Cookie.
Okay, see, I had the cats like milk part, but the rest of it I was completely lost on.
Yeah. You're like, what?
No, Puss is actually Cookie Puss is an ice cream cake that Carvel makes.
It is. It's cookies.
It has like an ice cream cone on the face, and the nose is a scoop of ice cream. So that's where Cookie Puss comes from. So both teams got the entire gauntlet correct. So it does come down to wagers. JC and the Sunshine Band, you had 162. What did you wager?
We were being a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
And we never actually took the time to do any math. We just bet it all. We pushed all in. So that's 162, I guess.
Which gives you a total of 324, currently good enough for the lead. But the big EZ, you had 186. What did you wager?
So we were being a little bit lazy. Didn't feel like doing the math. So we pushed it all in.
I told Zahkia I know about cows and I know about milk, but I don't do math.
I said we were behind, so who the hell cares? So we're either going to lose or we're not.
So with a final score of 372 to 324, your champions for today are the Big EZ, Emily Veraa, and Zahkia Mendoza. Great job.
Still
everybody.
Emily's world.
Zahkia, you got most of these points on this. We are a team effort, my friend.
Team effort is still Emily's world. I'm declared in Emily's world.
Wow. I mean, I felt like we played really well. We had a good score and finished with a great score. Wasn't much more we could do, Caitlin. I feel like we might have left one on the table somewhere, but I don't think we could have got many more than we got.
I think the four of us need to go find a pub trivia game together.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm heading to one at 7.
All right. Well, good game, everybody. That was tremendous, and a well-hosted game by David as well. Those were really good questions, David. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to give shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Emily, you're today's winner, so we're going to start with you.
Well, first thing I'm really passionate about is public education. As a public educator for the past 13 years, go out and support your schools and find out what's going on and how you can volunteer and help. And then I'll give a shout out to my husband. His band is about to release their next single, Bubba Coltrane and the Trainwrecks. So find them on Spotify.
Heck yeah. That's the first time you've done a shout out for them.
Well, yeah.
Bubba Coltrane and the Trainwrecks. I like it.
My husband does guitar and vocals there's some other vocals out there too, but I like his best.
Love it. Thank you, Emily. All right, Caitlyn, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna shout out my husband, who is currently taking care of a toddler downstairs, so I can finish up this. Cause-wise, I live in North Carolina, and as a lot of people know nationally, Western North Carolina was devastated by a bunch of flooding. So if you can, they're still trying to rebuild roads out there. It's passable, but it's going to take years. So if you have anything, please donate to any kind of the hurricane relief for North Carolina or any of the other mountain areas that, like in Tennessee, that had a lot of issues too.
All right. I agree wholeheartedly. And David, we'll finish up with you.
Well, one thing, now that Election Day is over, I encourage people to take part in another part of civic duty, and that is jury duty. I know that everyone, when they get those jury summonses, just try and figure out a way to get out of it. But it's a decent thing to do. It's what makes our justice system work. So, if you get called for jury duty, please, if you can, actually serve. You may not get called, you may get to go home and never, but I get called a lot and I go every time. Also, as I mentioned earlier, that we adopted our son. So certainly if you're looking to start a family or expand your family, I highly encourage adoption. And that's all for me.
Beautiful. We support that as well. All right, guys, that is going to wrap us up. So for David, for Caitlyn, for Emily, and Zahkia, my name's Jonathan. This has been episode number 508 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So long.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
Wait, are we already at the point of doing Wicked? Opens next week. All right. Round
I'm sorry,
one.
did you say Wicked opens sex week? What did you say?
No.
Next week.
Next week.
Opens next week. I heard open sex
Yes.
week.
Well,
I don't know why he said it. I have it
I don't know why
recorded.
you heard that.
It's in the recording.
Sex week, you'd have to talk to my cousin Lewis. Your midpoint category.
Who is it?
That was my timer for the last question going on.
Oh.
Your category for the midpoint. I wanted the least obnoxious buzzer sound when my 4-minute timer went off, and
You don't have
the doorbell
dogs.
was the best one I could come up with.
Yeah, you don't have dogs.
I do not have
do you?
dogs.
Yeah.
No.
You would not have that if you had dogs.